everyone, welcome back to the Beautiful Black Witch channel. My name is Aericka and I read stars, tarot cards, and other intuitive messages. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys the rundown of the next 2 weeks, basically mid-January and to the end of the month. Just to give you an idea of what's in store for us energetically and collectively. So we have a very jam-packed next 2 weeks. So up first, we had the 111 portal, and that was on January 11th. Then on the next day, we had Mars go direct in Gemini. Then on the 18th, we have Mercury going direct in Capricorn, which, thank God, we all love when Mercury goes direct. We love when that happens. Then on the 20th, we have Aquarius season begins. And then the day after that, on the 21st, we have the Aquarius New Moon. And then on the 22nd, we have Uranus going direct in Taurus. And we have the Chinese Lunar New Year. So, and that is all within 2 weeks span. And it's like one after another. So let's dive right in and get into it. The 111 portal opened up a pathway basically for new beginnings. It's very fertile energy. We have these multiple times a year, and it's basically just a chance for the universe to intervene, or just to energetically open us up to new things that we may be wanting or wishing for or trying to manifest or have been working on for some time now, and can be now starting a new chapter or starting a new something can be starting new when, for the new year, we had the 1-1 portal, the 11 portal, but with this 111 portal, which is January 11th again, that energy is expanding. So where 11 is like about balance, justice coming in, that's when, we love to make new resolutions for the year, new goals, trying to set our foot in the right direction, basically on a new start, on a healthy path. A lot of us are trying to get into that mindset when it comes to January 1st, the 11 portal. On 111, that is now expanding, that energy of wanting something new, wanting something more, trying to bring something to life, trying to manifest something. Like that energy is just potent even more. That day was just meant for us to focus on our wants, our needs, and our desires, things that we've been wanting, just another day to manifest basically. So when it comes to the Mars retrograde in Gemini, that started way back in October of 2022. And it's barely going direct and down. So for the last couple of months, we have been really having to think about what we've been putting our actions into, what have our desires, our wants, our passions, where have those things that we have been doing have turned out for us? Are we where we want to be? Are we investing our energy in the proper things? Are you happy with even how your body is, or things that we're putting our energy into, whether that's work or relationships or any personal endeavors that you can be getting into. So with Mars in retrograde, it definitely in Gemini, we had a lot of things coming up that, was questioning or was bringing to light the things that maybe we didn't see before, or maybe we can now have us slow down, because with Mars direct, we're just taking action. We're just doing things. Wherever your Mars placement is, however you go about doing things on the day-to-day, however your passions, you deal with your passions and your desires, that's just going. Like, it's just not even like second second nature for us, to think about that stuff. So when things go retrograde, it's that time to slow down and think about what we've been doing this whole time, like, whoa, that's when things can be coming up, with Mars and Gemini retrograde. It was like a Mercury retrograde that's like on steroids, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So there could have been arguments, car accidents, just all the things that would typically go wrong within a Mercury retrograde is now happening within the Mars retrograde, but just even louder because it's Mars and it's very action oriented, and it's like the god of war, kind of like you're gonna feel my wrath kind of energy. We all have a Mars placement, so however that is how you act from the day to day. So or how you just get things done on the day to day. So again, we've been thinking about those things. So if you've been getting in certain arguments, those things have been needing to be dealt with, whether you're separating from those people or that you can mend the situation. And that's with everything, if you've been holding off on buying new electronics, well, this is the time maybe those things crash, or just anything like that. So, and also it could have brought delays within the goals or things that we've been wanting to get started. So it's been like a lot of stagnant energy with everything. Definitely this past year 2022, because all the planets were like retrograde at one point. Like, and it was like we all had to like sit down and slow down. So it's just like, and like really take note of like everything, and like not take notes, well, take notes and take stock of like everything that has been in our life, whether it's seen or unseen, whether it's in public or behind closed doors. It just everything. With Mars retrograde again, we've been really needing to clean up our act with our actions that we've been taking, maybe how we communicate with others, or how we deal with maybe anxiety or stress or worry. Anything has to do with Gemini, really, communication, whether that's professionally or just communicating all together. So now we're feeling new, we're feeling refreshed. We kind of know where we want to go now with Mars going direct in Gemini. We can start thinking more clearly. We can start planning things better, taking action now with things that have been so stagnant and just been stuck. Like, we've all been feeling stuck in one way or another. So now with these retrogrades finally coming to an end this month, we can now start to feel like, whew, like we can move forward. We can do things. We can take action. We can get away from the things that we've been dealing with for so long. But we're not completely done, because there's always the post shadow phase of when a planet goes direct. So it's not like an instant kind of thing when planets are getting out of retrograde phase. Like, there's like a process period for the planet to gain momentum, because technically it's been moving backwards. It's slowed down. So its natural functions have been basically moving at 0.5 speed. So it's going to take some time for the planet to gain momentum and to feel like itself again and moving like it would usually move within that sign, and with that planet. So give it until springtime when the real new year began, because technically we're still in winter. So there's not a lot happening. I mean, we can be doing the groundwork on certain things, but there's not a lot of things popping off, literally, until springtime, when nature starts popping off, when nature comes back to life, then we will come back to life. It's just the nature of things. So until March, we're going to kind of be trying to pick ourselves up, gain momentum, take things slow, which is great for us because we're building on stable foundations. If you haven't saw my last video, I'm going to put it right here, where I talked about taking things slow and planning the right goals for yourself, and, you know, doing what you need to do to make your life what you really want it to be. So give yourself until March to see any big changes happening. Certain things can be changing drastically this month for some people, but for the collective at large, for us to be in the clear of the retrograde energy, I would say until March time, until Aries season, until springtime, the spring equinox. That's when I feel like we will be in the clear of all this like stagnant, stuck kind of energy. Speaking of retrogrades, Mercury is going out of retrograde on the 18th. I know we're all looking forward to that, you know, like I was saying about that Mars energy being in retrograde. With Mercury being in Capricorn, though, it kind of gave a little different effect, a very serious kind of undertone to this Mercury retrograde, attached to that Mars and Gemini kind of retrograde energy too. Back in December, Mercury went retrograde in Capricorn, and that wanted us to focus on our foundation. I was talking about that a little earlier, building on stable foundations. And last year in 2022, we were very much focused on our foundations, and that's why we had so many planets going retrograde, because we had all that stuff had to come up so that we can build and repair and put structure back into certain things. And like the whole pandemic was very scary for us all, but also giving us that space and that time to deal with certain things, because again, we've been just so programmed to be on the go so much, to be productive, to be doing something. But it's like for the whole world to be kind of forced to sit down for the last couple of years. And like last year we were able to get back out there, but we've had to like build on a lot of things that's just not helping us in our life anymore, you know, because that changed everybody. Like that whole time that we were at home, like we all were going through changes and transforming, and a lot of different things were happening for us. A lot of pivotal changes was happening, whether good or bad, you know, because some people had their come-ups during the pandemic, and a lot of us didn't, you know. But to say all of that, with this Mercury retrograde and Capricorn, we've really had to focus on, you know, building on those things that were just not strong, you know, that we were not focused on, you know, that one closet in our house, that one junk drawer, the garage, the basement, the attic, all of those spaces and places within us and in our lives, we're being cleared out, we're being rebuilt, restructured, planned out, you know, so that we can come back into the world stronger than ever, you know. So we've been focusing a lot on our mental health and what we want, what we desire, investing in ourselves, trying to do better for ourselves and for the people around us. And can't speak for all, but for the ones who have been doing that is who I'm speaking to, obviously. So yeah, we've been having to review those things and make sure that the final touches are in place and we can start putting the pieces together. Because like now we know what we want. Now we know what we want to invest in. Now we know where we've learned the lessons from the past. We're opening ourselves up to new experiences, new people, new places, just a whole new life experience, stepping out of certain traditions within our lives, within our families, within society. Like we have transformed so much collectively. So with this Mercury in Capricorn, you know, which is all about our structures and our laws and basically the morals and values we live on as a collective. Is like all of that has changed. All of that has been like reviewed, and this is like, does this work for me? No, I'm not gonna pass this on. I'm not gonna continue doing this, whatever that has been, because it's been in our lives for a very, very long time. Definitely with Capricorn, a lot of things have been passed down from generations. So it's like, now we're like, let's stop doing that, and like, let's do this instead. And like, we're creating new traditions, and we're creating new laws for ourselves and in our lives. And it's all great. It's all great. So that's what Mercury has been trying to teach us. Mercury retrograde has been doing for us, making sure that we're strong within ourselves, that our foundation within our minds, within ourselves, within our lives is good. We get to January 20th, where Aqua season begins, and then we have the new moon after that. So I'm just going to combine both of those together because it's basically the same thing. It's like we're walking into Aqua season with a fresh start with this new moon, because that's what new moons are usually about. Even though we may not be able to fully see the outcome of the situation, we're stepping into a new phase, a new life, a new cycle, a new chapter within our lives that is life-changing, honestly, because with Aquarius, they're ruled by Saturn and Uranus, which I'm going to get to in a minute. But that's all about like our structures, and Uranus is about, just change, just life-changing, like great changes happening that's just completely different, completely out of the norm for you, that's just creating this whole new life experience. And that's where this energy is coming from. Like, definitely with Uranus getting out of retrograde same weekend, we're all just like slowly moving forward. It's like whatever blockages have been in the way, walls, doors, whatever it has been, like whether we feel like we've been sinking slowly but surely, like all of that is just going to slowly let up as these planets, continue to move forward and get out of the retrograde phase. So yeah, we're going to be walking into Aqua season feeling renewed, refreshed. Like, I feel like we will start to feel inspired to actually start taking actions on goals and our resolutions, because with all those retrogrades in the beginning of the month, I definitely wasn't feeling inspired to plan, for real, or even like take action with certain things that was like new. Like I was already taking actions on certain things that I've already been building on, but anything like new, I have not been like even remotely in the energy to even begin to like work on those things. Like, I have ideas and I have plans and stuff, but I have not taken action. And I feel like a lot of people felt like that. But now that these retrogrades are dissipating by the day, we're going to be feeling a new year, new me kind of energy. Like, I can start my goals now. I can do certain things. Like, I'm feeling more clear. I know what I want. I see where I want to start, or I see where I want to go, or what I want to do. Like, even though we may not have like the outcome, obviously, of how things are going to turn out, we have like this clear vision of where we want to go and what we want to do, moving into this new year, new energy. Now is the time, these next 2 weeks, to really get in that energy of like opening ourselves up to something new, so that we can, get that inspiration, that motivation going. I really recommend writing things down. Obviously, words are spells. Whether we write them down or speak them out loud, we all have the power to either motivate ourselves or others, make us feel like crap, and not make us feel lazy. We can either get ourselves going or procrastinate, and that's with anybody, so depending on what you're saying to yourself in your head or out loud, it really matters. what you're saying to others in your head or out loud matters. Because it's all a reflection of who you are and where you're at. So even if you're not planning any crazy goals for yourself, just thinking positive or just finding ways to look on the bright side, or, write down good things, speak a life into yourself, speak life into other people, speak good things over your life, even if you don't see it. Sometimes faking it till you make it can kind of work. But with this energy, I don't think we're going to be faking it. I think we're all going to be at that point where like, let's go. Like, I've been stuck long enough. I've been just sick long enough. I've been stagnant and procrastinated and not motivated, and it's just all kind of things. I've just been in this dark place. I think we're all going to be like, man, F this. Let's go. Let's do this. Even if I fail, like, let's just go. Let's try. Let's just try. And that's all the universe really wants us to do, is freaking try. When it comes to the next day, when Uranus goes direct in Taurus, back in August 2022, it went retrograde. And since this is the planet of great change, of chaos, unpredictability, Uranus don't want to go by the rules. They don't want to go by the norm, tradition. Uranus is a rebel, all right? They do what they want. It does what it wants. And we all have that rebel in us. But with Uranus in retrograde, we've had to really think about those things. Definitely when it comes to Taurus, the things that have to do with Taurus, which is about our values, our health, our resources, our sense of security, stability. So we've had to slow down and think about these things. Where are we investing our money? Where are we investing our energy? What do we value? Like, what are we eating? What is in our grocery stores? Like, this has to do with just us collectively and personally, but just as a whole. Like, we all had to just sit down and be like, whoa. Definitely with all the shortages that was happening throughout the pandemic, like, we've really had to cut back on a lot of things. So we've all become a little bit more environmentally conscious. At least we're trying to, because Mother Nature, she needs a little TLC. So we've been, like, big companies and stuff have been trying to be more environmentally conscious, saving water, saving the planet at home, making sure that we're recycling, the whole nine, making sure we're not wasting resources, because we have been doing that a lot up until now, because the whole world is struggling a bit with resources. So we've really had to think about that. And a lot of people have been getting serious and investing in homes and investing in the stock market, planning their own food, just investing in properties and businesses in total. Like, I've seen so many businesses rise through the pandemic that has been here to help people, to bring a service, some type of service to people that can help them with, again, either mental health or physical health. There's so many subscription businesses that have come out for healthy food and vitamins and like all of those things that is all about our health and our wealth. It has been so magnified over the past year, definitely with Uranus in retrograde, because in Taurus, because there was a lot of sudden changes that happened for us that we were not prepared for, that we were not even taught about or even like taught to prepare for. Like, how do you prepare for something that we experience like that? Like, so a lot of things have, just shocked us all and made us really take things seriously. So with Uranus finally going forward, and not in the retrograde anymore, those things will also become clear of, you know, a lot more people can still be buying homes, and, you know, all of that stuff can still be a thing, and it's going to be more solidified within our day-to-day society. It's just going to become a norm to possibly own a business or invest money in the stock market, just finding new ways to make revenue, or to build revenue, and to save money and invest money, or just any kind of resource, food, materials, like all of that. We've been trying to figure out new ways to innovate those things, and Uranus is a very innovative planet. Things are going to continue to come out and help us understand how to invest in these things, how to be more independent, because we were codependent on, you know, the government for a lot of things. A lot of people have now become independent in like how they handle their money and how they handle other resources, and how, you know, they deal with certain situations within the household, and, you know, and which professionals you go to, and, you know, changing even certain traditions like that. That's also a thing with Uranus in retrograde. You know, we've had to change a lot of the traditions that we've been living on, and that's again with adapting to all this new stuff, a whole new world that we live in. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy how things changed so fast, but we've also adjusted really fast. So I think we should be impressed with ourselves. But yeah, all of this is just to say that it's just meant to set us free from certain, like, again, stagnant, stuck energy, because we can't keep making money the same way. We can't keep having these old traditional jobs, definitely with so many things are changing at the same time. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. So it's like we have to change with the times. That's just how it goes. And with changing, there's new things that we're going to have to adapt to help us grow further, you know, because if we're not put in uncomfortable situations, we will not change because we're comfortable. Like, if we shake things up a bit, like, we'll start to question things like, oh shoot, okay, wait, so how we've been doing things is not right, and we can do better. And last but not least, we got the Chinese New Year on the 22nd. And this is the year of the water rabbit, which is all about fertility and abundance and like that spring energy. And it's crazy, like I was saying, like with all these retrogrades that have now going direct, it's like we're getting free from all that stuck energy. So with it being the year of the rabbit, where it's just like all about fertility and abundance and prosperity and just growing and learning and expanding, it seems just fitting to me, you know? It seemed really fitting to me because it's also about like longevity, and we've really been focusing on like our stability and our security and thinking about the long term and where we want our lives to be or kind of headed, you know, because we can't really control that much, but it's just like where we want our lives to be headed into the future, and like really putting that work in and focusing and trying to get there. So it's like, again, with it being the year of the water rabbit, it's just like I could just see so much abundance, and where there's more blessings than not, because it's been dark, you know, it's been heavy, it's been a lot of stuff happening, but it's just like now we can start to find real stability, real peace, real prosperity, real abundance, and just real happiness, because we've been doing a lot of work, man, and we deserve that. So, in saying all of that, let's get into these cards and see what they have in store for us. So first I want to say there's major things happening for us. I feel like for this mid-month, starting at this mid-month. Like the beginning of January was a very slow start, which it typically is. But with those planets still retrograde, it was extra slow and extra unmotivating. But yeah, the second half of January, things are gonna be just shifting, changing, changing into the better. Like all the things that we were dealing with, it's over. You know, it's over. All the heartbreak, all the hurt, all the betrayal, all the heaviness in the mind, like all the mental health issues that's just been bogging us down. Like we're getting a grasp on that. You know, people are making breakthroughs. It's just people are overcoming certain things, certain fears, certain traumas, certain hurts. Just feeling so stuck. And it's over. It's over. Like, there's so much pain in these cards. Like, his hands are like bound. Like, that heart is bleeding. Like, we've been going through a lot in our lives, man. All of us, our own little battles or big battles. Who's to say what's what? But it's just like all of that is now coming to an end, because other than that, there's nothing but major arcanas here. We have the Strength card, which talks about strength, you know, overcoming those things, taming that beast that's within us all, you know, within our mind, within our hearts. Just really taming those things that just make us crazy, that gets us out of character, that makes us low vibe, you know, that's just, we're transforming all of that dark heaviness and just gaining strength from it and just stepping away from that, just feeling so empowered and ready to take on the next best thing, because it's just like, it almost got me. It almost got me. That's what I'm hearing. And with this Death card, it's like all of that is coming to an end for sure. Like it's gone. Like it's gone. We're never gonna have to deal with that again. You know, as long as we continue to do the work at, you know, taming those things and continuing to grow from the things that hurt us, and to continue to release, because this is a card of release, to, you know, release those things that keep us, you know, feeling stuck, feeling like we can't experience better than this, like we can experience better. But we gotta get away from those things. We gotta put those things to rest. And that is exactly what's happening. And then what happens? The sky clears up and we can see the stars and we can see things clearly. And we can see why we've been where we've been, you know, taking that time to heal and have balance within ourselves, you know, making a wish, manifesting, hoping for a better day, even if that's all that was. It's like now we get to experience that. Whatever that better day was, whatever that wish was, whatever that dream was, it's like we're gonna experience that this year, this month. But it's all gonna start now. It's gonna start the second half of January. We're gonna see clearly now. We're gonna understand why we've been where we've been and choosing where we go from here on out, you know? And feeling at one with ourselves. This card came out a lot last year. In all my readings, it would always come out one way or another. In my personal readings, and my collective readings on mine, like this card just kept coming out. And part of it has to do with, finding your soul partner, finding that person that you feel seen and heard and comfortable and at one with, that, just get you going. But it's also about having that with yourself, having that connection with your mind and your heart, with that masculine and feminine side of ourselves. Because I'm guilty of being in my masculine energy. Really, really hardcore. To the point where I didn't even put time aside to prioritize my feelings, not like I should have. I'll break down and cry, but I would have to break down and cry. Like, I'm not going to sit down and work through my emotions. Like, I would not give myself that time. I'll be just like, on the back burner, I got things to do. But it's like, with all this time sitting at home, I've had no choice but to take care of my feminine side, cater to her, listen to her. She had a lot to say. She was really hurt. She felt neglected. And, I had to put my pride aside a lot. I had to put my ego aside a lot to listen to her, because it's just like, girl, sometimes I'll be like, girl, if you don't, but it's like, I wouldn't do that to somebody else, So it's like, why was I doing that to myself? And that's something I had to learn. And there's something we've all been having to learn one way or another, just how to appreciate ourselves more, how to take care of all of our needs and our desires, and how to listen to ourselves, and how to take care of ourselves, and how to do for ourselves and invest in ourselves. Like, it's been a journey. And it's like, now that we've done that work, we're a brand new person. We can now connect differently to everything around us. Like, look at her. Like, oops. During the day, she's taming that monster, taming that beast, that lion. All the things, doing that work to make sure that we're on the path that we need to be on. That's our masculine side, the strength card, that masculine side that's going to get things done, that's going to get their hands dirty, do the hard work, making sure, we're taming those things that will get in our way. That, that's not like, we're not letting that stuff stop us. We're just pushing through, that's that masculine side. But at nighttime, when it's all done, when the work is done, at night, during the day, this is all metaphorically speaking, we got to we just got to make time to take care of that feminine side of us, to nurture ourselves, to water our plants, to just water ourselves and nurture ourselves, and self-care, self-love, making sure that we're okay, making sure we're stripping all of that stuff off from our day, because you notice she's naked here and she's wearing clothes. So, when we're in our feminine energy, it's just time to get naked, whether that's literally or just emotionally, where we just pour it all out, let it all go, making sure that we're rested and replenished for our next day. But we got to make time for that. We can't just push that stuff aside and just just keep pushing. Like, no, we got to make sure there's a balance, because this speaks of balance with our masculine and feminine energy. because yeah, that's really, really important if you're trying to bring your dreams into reality, bring your wishes, your wants, your desires, whatever that is. Like, we got to make time for both. And even if you're someone who works out of your feminine energy more, where you're, you know, more into your emotions and, you know, your nurturing side, and you're empathetic and you're just constantly nurturing others, like, it's still important to make sure that you're investing in yourself and you're making sure that you're doing what you need to do for you at the end of the day. So no matter what you're doing, just make sure you're making time for your opposite. Okay, like you would make time for your partner, make sure you're making time for yourself. So if you're a hard worker and you're just going and going all day, it's time. Make time during your day to slow down, rest, nap, replenish. Let things be quiet and silent. And if you're somebody who is more introverted, quiet, you know, silent, nurturing, you know, just very into your feminine energy, where you live like the slow life and, you know, you're just going with the flow of things, like, take actions with certain things, you know, put passion into certain things, you know, a little drive, a little oomph. Just telling people no, putting up boundaries is basically all you would need to do. Just put up boundaries and make time for yourself and invest in yourself, and don't think about nobody else if you do struggle with diving into your masculine energy, you know? So whatever you're doing, wherever you've been, it's been good, it's been fun, right? But new things are coming in, new friends, new love. You have this new love for yourself. Like, your cup is so overflowing right now, or just this next year, or just within the next 2 weeks, whenever this energy resonate with you, because we're all on different timeline here. But energetically, we will be feeling more driven to do things, and more passionate, and more like there's going to be more oomph in our action and what we want to do, you know? So yeah, I'm really excited for us. I'm really happy for us. I'm just looking at all these cards. Like, there's so many good things here. Like, you're going to be recognized for who you are. You're going to be seen and heard. Like, if you've been feeling neglected, like, all of that stuff that was dark and heavy is just now going to be replenished with so many great things. It's going to be good, guys. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to some good stuff, because your girl been going through it over here, man. But haven't we all? That's what it's all about, right? But I hope this inspired you, motivated you, helped you some way or another. If you're interested, like the video, press the button to subscribe, and join the coven, because a witch is nothing without her coven. So please subscribe if you're interested, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.